Have you ever felt like the harder you try to live right, the more opposition you face? Like every step toward your purpose is met with resistance. Why does the devil attack when you are on the verge of breakthrough? The devil attacks you not because you're weak, but because you are dangerous to his plans. In the Bible, we see how Satan targets those who have a purpose, those walking with God, and those poised to make the greatest impact. But why does he attack you? What makes you so important in the grand scheme of spiritual warfare? Today, we're going to uncover the truth behind spiritual attacks. We'll break down why the devil targets you, how you can fight back, and how to stay grounded in faith even during the fiercest battles. The first reason the devil attacks you is because you are a threat to his kingdom. Think about it. Satan doesn't waste time on people who pose no danger to his plans. But when you align your life with God's purpose, you become a target. Look at Job. Satan didn't attack him because of his weaknesses. He attacked Job because of his strength. Job's faithfulness to God made him a direct threat to the devil's plans. When you stand firm in your faith, living according to God's will, you're not just another person, you're a warrior. Satan knows that if you succeed, you will weaken his grip on this world. You are a carrier of light, a vessel for God's power. And the devil fears what you can do when you fully step into your God-given purpose. Another reason the devil attacks is to distract you from your purpose. Distractions come in many forms: temptations, hardships, even success can be a weapon the enemy uses to pull you off course. When Jesus was in the wilderness, Satan tried to tempt him with power and kingdoms. His goal was to shift Jesus' focus from his divine mission to earthly power. The same thing happens to you. The devil tries to shift your attention through temptation, trials, or even opportunities that seem good but lead you away from God's calling. The devil knows that if he can divert your focus, you might miss out on the destiny God has set for you. He'll use anything, temptation, anxiety, or even busyness, to get you off track. But remember, God has already given you the tools to overcome. When you keep your eyes fixed on him, no distraction can pull you away from the purpose he's placed in your heart. Note, the devil attacks to weaken your faith. His ultimate goal is to make you question God's goodness, his promises, and your identity in Christ. Peter was walking on water until fear and doubt crept in. The enemy wants to do the same to you. He wants you to sink, to believe that God has abandoned you, or that your prayers are not heard. When life gets hard, when prayers are unanswered, and when hope feels distant, remember this: the devil is a deceiver. He attacks because he fears your faith. Even if it's as small as a mustard seed, your faith is powerful, even when it feels weak. In those moments of doubt, turn to God. The Bible tells us that when we are weak, he's strong, and it's through faith that we will see his promises fulfilled. Satan knows that God has a unique purpose for your life, a calling that will impact others and glorify him. But if the devil can distract you, he can keep you from fulfilling that purpose. He might not be able to stop God's plan, but he'll do everything in his power to slow you down. Distractions come in many forms: temptations, unnecessary worries, even seemingly good opportunities that pull you away from God's mission for your life. Satan's goal is to keep you so occupied with other things that you lose sight of God's bigger picture for you. But when you stay connected to God through prayer and his word, he will always guide you back to the path he has set for you. Proverbs 3:6 says, "In all your ways submit to him, and he will make your paths straight." When you stay focused on your purpose, Satan's distractions lose their power. One of the enemy's most effective strategies is isolation. When you're isolated, physically or emotionally, you're more vulnerable to his attacks. Satan knows that a lone believer is easier to overwhelm with doubt, fear, and anxiety. Just like a predator goes after a lone sheep, the devil tries to separate you from your spiritual community. He wants to make you feel like you're in this battle alone, because isolation leads to discouragement, and discouragement can lead to defeat. But remember, you were never meant to fight this battle alone. The Bible tells us that a cord of 3 strands is not easily broken. Surround yourself with fellow believers who will encourage you, pray for you, and remind you of God's promises. Together, you are stronger than any attack Satan can launch. Jesus said in John 10:10, "The thief comes only to steal and kill and destroy." Satan's goal is to rob you of the joy and peace that God has given you. He knows that when you're filled with the joy of the Lord, you are unstoppable. Joy gives you strength, and peace grounds you in God's promises. The devil often uses trials, stress, and anxiety to weigh you down, trying to steal your joy and peace. He whispers lies, telling you that God's not in control, that you should be afraid or worried. But Philippians 4:6-7 reminds us to not be anxious about anything, but in every situation, by prayer and petition, with thanksgiving, present your requests to God. When you do that, God promises His peace will guard your heart and mind. No matter what the enemy throws at you, the joy of the Lord is your strength, and His peace is your protection. When you cling to those promises, the devil can't rob you of what God has already given. One of Satan's greatest goals is to hinder your relationship with God. He knows that when you are connected to God, you are spiritually strong, discerning, and grounded in truth. The devil's attacks often aim to disrupt your prayer life, keep you from reading the Word, and fill your time with distractions. When you're too busy, too tired, or too distracted to spend time with God, your spiritual life can suffer. The enemy loves to create barriers that keep you from drawing close to the Lord, because he knows that intimacy with God strengthens you for every battle. But James 4:8 reminds us, "Come near to God, and He will come near to you." When you prioritize your relationship with God, you weaken the devil's power in your life. No matter how many distractions or obstacles Satan throws your way, your relationship with God is your greatest defense, and the closer you are to Him, the less power the devil has over you. Stay connected to God, and no matter how intense the enemy's attacks may be, you will always have the strength and peace to overcome. Yes, the devil attacks, but he only attacks those who are a threat, those with purpose, and those with the potential to change the world for God's kingdom. Remember, no matter how hard the devil tries to attack, God's love and strength are always greater. Let's walk this journey together, staying rooted in the truth and victorious in Christ. God bless you.